today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my top 12 drugstore products. And I saw this idea and I thought might be quite a good idea because, to be fair, they're kind of the products that I use the most. I'm just going to get straight into it, so yeah, let's go. So I'm not going to do it in any order really, I don't think, because I just have my products here, so I'm just going to get straight onto it. So I'm probably, to be fair, I said I'm not going to do it in order. No, I'm not. Okay. Right, first thing, so I'm doing 12 products. This is really messy, but this is the Revlon Colour Stay. Revlon Colour Stay. This is in 250 beige, and this is what I have on now. This is probably, I love this foundation because it makes your face look really dewy but not too dewy, like it's not a matte foundation, and this is the normal to dry skin. And I actually have this in 2 shades, so as you can tell the shades are really different. But basically I brought the lightest one, which is like 110 Ivory, and I was like, yeah, I need the lightest one, and obviously it was way too light for me, so then I got this one, which is alright when I have a tan, but it's a bit too light when I have a lot of tan on, and it's a bit too dark when I don't have tan on, but this is what I have on at the moment, and you can see my neck's a bit darker, but we can roll with that. So yeah, this is just an overall a really good foundation because, you know, it lasts a long time. I think that's where it does say it lasts, like, yeah, it lasts 24 hours. I probably wouldn't say it lasts 24 hours, but like, it is a pretty good foundation, and I did use the Bourjois Paris one for a while and I really like that, but it was quite yellowy, whereas this is more like a nicer colour. So primer. ELF is, well, probably one of my favourite makeup companies. I haven't tried all their products, so I can't tell you, you know, if you want me to do a testing video then comment and I will. But this is their illuminating face primer. Now I think this was, about £5 or £6, and you can see I haven't had it long, but I have used quite a lot of it. And this is the illuminating one, and I love the packaging. Like, I just love the packaging. It's like matte. You can't really tell, but it's like matte, and yeah, I didn't use this today, but it's like a putty. Like, it's a really nice, a weird texture, but I like it. And this is a really nice highlight illuminating primer because I put a bit more here. I usually just put it all over my face, and then you look like a glowing goddess. So yeah, it's really nice for summer if you have a tan, or even if you just want to put a bit on like your skin to make you look like naturally highlighted. I'm going to stick with is their Baked Highlighter in Blush Gems. I've used this ever since I started wearing makeup. I have tried other highlighters, I just haven't got on with them as well. This is a very buildable, it's always what I use. It's a very buildable product. It is very flat. When I brought it, it was about £3. Now they're about £5, but they do have ELF in UK Superdrug now, which is so much better. But yeah, there's nothing really else to say about this. I use it all the time. It's always my go-to highlighter. Probably need to purchase another one. It's quite like dented and that, and obviously the lid's come off because I've had it for so long. I've had it for about 5 years, and definitely, well, no, it might be about 3 or 4 years probably, but ever since this was like one of the first bits of makeup that I like got when, like, before like highlighter was like a massive thing, because yeah, basically, so I love this. Favourite highlighter because it's so natural and buildable. So like, one day you might want a little bit of highlight, one day you might want like, see, it's sort of good because you can do both. And then I have the Rimmel London, I can't even remember what it's called, it's like Colour Stay or something, in Silky Beige powder. The only powder I've ever really used for quite a while. Don't really chop and change which powders I use. The lid broke when I had it for prom, and yeah, and it's hit pan, but basically there's the powder, nothing to say about that. And also Revolution is one of my favourite products. Now I'm just going to go on to eyes quickly. So I actually have an eye primer, which I'm pretty sure W7 is like a drugstore, but I'm going to consider it is. And this is just this eyeshadow base. Now this is actually my first eyeshadow base primer, and it is basically concealer. But if you warm it up with your fingers, it's quite good. You can get this in white or neutral. I've got a neutral one. It was like £3. I actually got it off Amazon. I love this. I use this on all my eyeshadow, all my eye looks, like recently I do. It's just really good because I've got quite like veiny eyelids, and like it's just a good base basically. And yeah, it's good for like covering out your brows. So it's only little, but I think it will last quite a while. So I'm really liking this so far. Then staying on the subject of eyes, I have the Collection Glam Crystallize Dazzling Gel Liner. Now, I have also had this, not that long to be fair, but I've had it a bit. And this is about £3 maybe, and this is in the shade Hustle 4, so it's like a bluey one. But yeah, I just absolutely love this really. It wasn't expensive, and it's just a really good glitter liner. Like, it's nice to do if you have like black eyeliner and put it above. I do that every so often. Haven't done it much this year because I haven't worn eyeliner much. And then mascara, probably one of my favourites. Drugstore favourites. I use the Clinique one quite a lot. And I do use that today. I use the Bourjois waterproof one, but the L'Oreal Miss Mango, the L'Oreal ones are probably my go-to ones more if it's not the Clinique one. So this is probably my favourite drugstore one. So basically that's that. Then on to lips. The only really lip products that are probably my favourite are basically MUAs. It's rubbed off, that's how much I've used it. There's hardly any left, but I have Fawn Fancy and Totally Nude. This is Fawn Fancy, I believe. Yup, and they're like, these lipsticks are £1, and I use the bottom bit quite a lot more, and basically it's what I had earlier. I have my Clinique one on now, but they look really good. They're only cheap, you can tell they're cheap, but at the end of the day, if you want a cheap lipstick that's good, just get the MUA ones, because it's good to have in a handbag, so it doesn't matter if it gets broken or smashed or anything. But yeah, I have their liquid lipsticks as well, which I'm quite impressed with. Blusher, L'Oreal, probably L'Oreal Revolution, NYX, ELF, probably maybe a bit of collection, and probably my 5 favourites. Like drugstore products, like not products, brands. This is just a L'Oreal blush, which I always use. I don't change blushes much. It's in the shade Rose. I don't change blushes much at all. I just have one and use it, and don't really ever change it. It's not really. And then on to bronzer. This is the Revolution bronzer. It was like £1, I believe, and it's kind of, yeah, it's got a mirror in the back, which is quite cool. And it's quite an orangey bronzer, but it's what I actually have on today. I don't know if you can't really tell because I didn't put much on, but this is quite nice if you've got fair skin and you don't want to pay too much for a bronzer, so it's just like a cheap one that you put on every so often. And then second to last, we have the Freedom Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Blonde, and honestly, when I found this, my life was sorted, because I think this is not really cheap. I think this is about £5, and it's quite a big pot. Now, I've had it for about 6 months, I'd say, and I wouldn't say I've used much of it, but I've used it quite a lot. I don't wear makeup every day, so I haven't obviously used it every day, but I've used it quite a lot. It's kind of quite indented in that, but that's just because I like the brush I use. I like the packaging. It's little, it's easy to take places if you're travelling. I don't know why I still keep it in the box, but I do. And basically, I tried so many of Rimmel's, like London, and every other brow product. I've tried loads. I've tried about 10. I've tried collections. I've tried so many. And when I found this one, I was just so happy, because you get like such a nice look. Like this, it's all of what I've used on my brows like the last 6 months. So, and it doesn't turn them ginger. It's like a cold blonde instead of a warm blonde, because lots of brow pomades or pencils were a warm blonde, and it just doesn't look nice. But this is like my exact hair colour, and it just, I don't know, just my favourite brow product basically. Finally, onto eyeshadows, because I feel like I sort of had to do one of each. This is the Makeup Revolution Flawless Free Resurrection, which I do also have the packaging for, but I'm not going to show you that now. Please ignore all the finger marks on this. I love the packaging, I love its rose gold. It's not that great, that easy to undo, but... So as you can see, ignore that the mirror and everything is dirty. This is like my go-to Holy Grail palette. Basically, it's actually coming out, like the thing is coming out. I don't know if you can't really see, but that's fine. I love the mirror in this, and the packaging is just like perfect size for travelling. And basically, it's just really good because you've got the shimmers. They're not that pigmented, but if you use your fingers, they're not that decent. I always use this as a transition. These shades here are probably my most used shades. I love the reds and the pinks, this one, and the lighter ones. But yeah, so this is just a really good palette because you've got quite a few different colours, you can do different looks, and it's easy, like it's what I took when I was away for the whole of the summer. It's the only palette I took because it's an easy palette to take, and this is about £8, definitely worth it. I really want to get the Sophie Does Nails one as well. Just put that out there. I don't know, yeah. So I really love this palette because it's just got such a nice array of colours, and it's just my favourite palette. So that is the 12 products. I think there was 12 of my favourite products, drugstore products. I need to sort out my full background, and everything's a bit of a mess at the moment, so I will get that sorted. I am going to get some decorative things for my full background, but yeah, I haven't started filming them videos yet because I know it's full. It's October the 1st today, which is crazy. It means it's like a month and a few days till I can drive, which I've been talking about for quite a few videos. But yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a big thumbs up, and I shall see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.